And welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show, and excited to be with you here today on this lovely Wednesday. And we got our guy AJ on his Wednesday time slot, ready to rock, coming in hot, feeling good. Schlegs is calling him.
Yep.
There you go.
There, summon him. Morph into it. Yeah.
Get out of control. We did
Just
go
like
up to the
somebody else
zoo,
we were
Schlegs. We
talking
saw
about,
some
Rob.
eagles. They didn't have any hawks there, but they had some sweet eagles up at the Columbus Zoo.
Cousins.
Yeah, of course. Age, how's everything going, man?
Good. School's right around the corner for the kids. Football's right around the corner too. So yeah, it's good, man. What were you doing at the zoo, Bob? Did you go like with a big group, or what happened?
No, well, Caleb, I feel bad, as I'm sure it is with you guys. Like, you probably took Lennon and Hendricks to the zoo a lot because they were your oldest kids, and Laura probably went and you didn't have anything else to do in the off season. I mean, RJ and McLean had probably been to the zoo 150 times, maybe more. I mean, they could walk you through it. He could probably do that when he was like 6. Caleb, I think, has been to the zoo like 3 times. He's like, I'd like to go to the zoo. We're like, all right. I mean, let's go to the zoo. And so we went up there, and it was going to be like $90 for us, me, Court, and him to go. And so we got a zoo pass for like 180. So I'm like, all right, well, we went up there once. We'll probably go back again here at some point here in the next couple of weeks. But he had never been, and they redid North America. It was awesome. They had the mountain lions. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen them out like walking around. I've been to the zoo a bunch. They were out like roaming around, having a good time. So yeah, that's what we were up at the zoo for.
I haven't seen the mountain lion situation. We used to go a good amount. We live like 5 minutes from there. So yeah, we had a pass. I mean, we know Jungle Jack knows how to set up a zoo. Like, that place is unbelievable.
Hey,
I mean,
both of you. Both of you.
Like hanging out.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, look at that guy. Looking he's got a full stomach.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's running any half-gassers. Hey, let me ask you a question, both of you men. Favorite animal at the zoo? Go.
Ooh.
Lion, probably.
Lions are good. The mountain lions are sweet. The little Mexican wolves. I wish they had like North American wolves.
They do that? Is that how they howl?
How? Do it again?
Like that? That's kind of.
I think that's it. Yeah.
The Mexican wolves.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah.
What's that El Vaquero style?
They roll their tongues when they howl, Schlegs. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that's accurate. Favorite animal at the zoo? Gosh, that's a great question.
I know. That's why
I love watching the cheetahs, dude. Whenever you can get those things out and run, they're so fast, like so crazy.
All the primates too, though. I mean, come on now, like all the primate situations.
So they had one of the gorillas out, dude. He was like the big silverback was sitting there just munching on some lettuce. Like there was a lot of activity for being 1,000 degrees outside. There was a lot of activity. Oh yeah, dude. Look at this guy just hanging out right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Just munching on
those bananas.
Leaves. Dude, looking huge. Very robust. It was great. And then this was the best. Like, dude, I like to picture my Caleb just sweet eagle, angel's wings and a tuxedo t-shirt singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner. Skinner just partying. So yeah, it was a good time though. Went up to the zoo, got that done. I don't even know how we got to that point. Have you guys not started school yet?
Nope. We start Tuesday next week.
Oh, Tuesday. So you got a whole nother weekend. UA elementary today, and then for the kids entering middle school and entering the high school, they had to go. So RJ's at home. He's the lone soldier doing that. The rest of the other 3 were gone. And Schlegs, I don't know how it was in Florida, but Age, you remember we had to do like driver's ed, and you have to go take your classes. You have like 6 4-hour classes. You sit there. It was so terrible. Well, of course, now do it all on the line. And so why wouldn't you want to teach somebody how to drive a car from just watching a screen, and like they have timers on and everything. But RJ, he's been sitting here just crushing through some of his driver's ed, which I'm like, I'd like maybe a little more personal instruction. You're putting a lot on the parents here, but sure, let's do it.
Well, don't you have to get like 50 hours with you as a parent with that?
Yeah. And he has to still get 10 with the instructor, 8 with the instructor. But I mean, I would like that there was maybe your kids don't listen to you at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you go, I mean, I'm doing that Blue Angel ride next Wednesday, a week from today. And honestly, like the guy was like, "You worried or anything?" I'm like, "No, dude. I've driven through downtown with my son on like I-70 to 71 to 670. Like, you want to talk about some exciting times, man. I tell him volume only equals urgency. Please, just when I'm getting louder progressively, like go now, faster, 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 faster. Like we got to merge. Like, let's go. figuring some things out. So it's always
I can imagine.
Oh yeah, you wait, dude. You're.
Oh, I do it. I believe me. I let my daughter drive. She drives a golf cart, and I let her drive my truck sometimes because I'm like, you need to be able to drive a large vehicle. And mine's a little bit raised up. It's big. I'm like, if you can drive this, you can drive anything. Also, if she gets in a wreck, I want her to just go completely over top the other car.
So thank you. That's what Courtney, because I'm RJ's going to take my RJ's taking my old truck. Of course, like, it's kind of big. I go, it's like you got backup cameras on.
You can see over everyone. You need to be sitting up high, especially.
I miss the days of this.
Yeah, like we were looking. Oh, you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could do whatever. I could do it all, man. I'm the world's best backwards driver besides Mater.
Yeah,
I'm fantastic.
Besides, of course, I'm glad.
Let me ask you this question. Your first driving. How did your parents teach you? Because that's what really. I mean, I'm a phenomenal driver.
Yeah,
my daughter's side nugget is a great driver, but Hunter, he's getting better. But I want to know how your parents taught you, because I know exactly how my dad taught me. And I was definitely Lennon's age, 100, but miles of highway. Keep going.
I would imagine I had a little different, teaching. It was from my parents, from my mom and dad, than you did from Big Raj. I can imagine it was a high. I don't know. I mean, probably gave you a lot of freedom at least. But I was very lucky. I learned how to drive on a stick. So like my oldest brother had a 2-door tiny little Honda Civic, and that's what I learned to drive on. So I learned on an actual stick shift, so I can. I think that's the thing of the past. I don't know how many sticks are out there still. You got your Wrangler, Bob, maybe some other stuff. You can get a stick, but I need to teach my kids. I need my kids to be able to drive stick shift. At some point, they're going to have to do it, right?
You never know.
Well, with the rise of AI, I mean, there's no computers in there.
Actually, yeah, humans aren't going to be driving anyway. When the insurance is going to make it so it's like we're all going to be riding Waymos.
No, listen, I'm not letting the machines win, because once they do that, AJ, it's over, dude. Like,
I want the option. I want to get into a car and fall asleep, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm 4 hours down the road to my destination. But I need to always have the option to drive myself too, though. You can't take that away.
So that's why I'm going to get RJ to drive a stick, and that's what he goes, man, it'd be really hard to text and drive when you're driving a stick. I'm like, yeah, no doubt, because you've got one hand on the wheel, one hand on the shifter. Like, do you have to change the radio? It's like strategic fast, window fast. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So honestly, for kids, they should bring back sticks, because then you have so much going on. You have to actually focus on the task at hand, and like trying to text and drive, dude, that is not ever going to happen.
Schlegs, you said you drove hundreds of miles on the highway by the time you were 12 years old, probably?
My dad took me to Dubuque, Iowa. I bought a quarter pounder of cheese, large fry, and a large Coke on a stick shift, and made me drive up this monstrous hill.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then like on the hill, like, all right, parallel park here. And like that was the driving. All right, you're good, because you got to be able to learn how to stick shift again. Awareness. When are you going to do things? When are you going to take a bite? What are you going to do? And then we proceeded after that. Once he declared me eligible for the road, he's like, man, and we had a wrestling tournament up there somewhere in like Northeast Iowa, whatever. He's like, hey, guess what? He started getting tired on the way down on the highway. He's like, you got it. Keep it below 80. That was his words. And then he proceeded to fall asleep, and I'm just cruising. I'm probably like 14. It was amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Rod, he lived by his own set of rules. He's still living by his own set of rules. Got a Dallas street dog named Frankie, right? Breathing oxygen.
Cool,
brand new femur. Brand new femur, AJ. Anyways, I love it, man. Parenting has changed, but the standard is the standard.
The standard is the standard.
Watch out for motorcycles.
Yeah, watch out for motorcycles. We got that age like 2 weeks into camp over at Ohio State. They had to report last Wednesday, started practice on Thursday. The mentality, like what is your psych like at that point, your psyche, if you will, like 2 weeks into training camp?
Well, I mean, think about it now. Luckily, like I guess there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like there's a game on the horizon. That's what you're at a good point now. I think like 6, 7, 8 days into camp, that's when it's like it's at its bleakest moment. When you're thinking like, all right, we still have a bunch of these like big time practices before we get to our first game. But like looking back on it now and thinking of it even then, like when camp gets over with, you're like, yeah, your body is like you're calloused, you're ready to go. And I think it's an absolute necessity to go in there and you got to beat up on each other a little bit. Obviously, we know that, but that's the only way you're going to make your team. Like, but there's I cannot imagine as a coach how tough it would be to manage that knowing too, hey, we got this monster regular season. Oh, and by the way, we want to go win a bunch of college football playoff games too and make a run at national title again. Like there's some Schlegels obviously thinks about that as well. Like finding a way to get the right amount of work in, but also stay healthy. Like that's a really tough thing.
How do you balance like having a huge game off Jump Street like that? You know, because you got to be ready to go week one. And heck, you know, Ryan's still trying to pick a quarterback and figure that out. And we'll get into that in a minute. But just arriving at that game, knowing that there is no warm up, there is no preseason. You're not playing a group of 5 school. You're playing Texas, who is ranked #1 in the country.
I think it's awesome. I think at least from like if you're a coach, it automatically gives like a sense of urgency to the whole training to camp from when it starts, because everyone knows like this is awesome. Like we have a huge opportunity at home when the season starts. We don't have to like ease into it and play a game that a lot of people might not care about. Like the nation, the world is going to be watching. And I think that's the game. Those are the games you want to play in. So I think as far as training camp, yeah, there's still a lot of young guys that are, you know, untested, I guess, but obviously talented. But guess what? So is every other team. So is Texas. So is every other team in the league. Like you don't really know exactly what you have until you get out there week one.
Hey, let me ask you this. So some comments like people doing good, hearing people doing, you know, not doing well. Is the offense just that much better? Are there other issues that are, you know, prevalent? When you're in camp, and obviously AJ, you and Bob have been in a variety of camps, but sometimes and I warn people this, like, don't take the people that have only been there for a part of the practice, because there's a certain cutoff point when all media has to leave. And there's another cutoff point when NFL scouts have to leave, unless your name is Ryan Stamper or a true Buckeye, then you can stay. But as you go through practice, just tell people and articulate to people how it's the summation of practices and the building upon those practices, because we all are going to make mistakes as we learn, as we grow, and this is a completely different team. But it's these other qualities of being able to learn on the fly and not regress that really matters, and that coach are looking for. Expound upon that for fans out there.
I mean, I think it's tough to, especially if you're not a coach and you're not going back and watching. If you're not watching the tape after practice and going through like the calls and what was the goal of this drill, it's hard to like evaluate players. Yeah, you can see how they move physically and what they're doing. Like, of course you can see that, but especially with practice, like I tell 3rd and 4th grade kids I'm coaching, like, hey, that's why it's called practice, bud. Like we're gonna we're out here to try things. We're out here to try things that hopefully work in the game. Or like I love even coaching little kids, getting like you're teaching them, all right, hey, if you get engaged in a block, if you get your feet driving, like wide base, get your feet going, you'll feel like, oh, even a bigger dude cannot overpower me. I can find a way to hold my own and try to shed him off me. And when you see a kid, a couple reps, all of a sudden his feet get stuck and they don't go, and then all of a sudden the next rep they do it, and you see their feet going, and they can kind of like a light bulb comes on. And I think just like every little thing like that, if you're willing to go out there and take chances at practice too, like, remember, I don't know if you guys remember Richard Sherman when he was on the Niners. He got beat. It was they're doing one-on-ones with the receivers, which we know like it's awesome to watch, but like you can't exactly evaluate everything off that. And I guess he got beat deep, and dude caught a touchdown. The clips all over the internet, and Shanahan brought him in front of the team and like praised Richard Sherman. He's like, hey, I give him credit because he tried something. Like he took a chance because he's trying to practice, and he wasn't scared of, oh, hey, it's going to look bad if I'm a 10-year vet and I get beat deep in one-on-ones in practice, because he knows the media was there during training camp. So some people are like scared to put themselves out there to take a chance. I love when guys aren't worried about that and want to take a shot. And then, because it's true, like you learn, okay, that could possibly work in a game, or that's definitely not going to work in a game.
Yes.
What have you ever been part on, AJ? Like, because when you were there, I mean, it kind of went straight from Brett to Aaron. They never really had any competition. You've never been part of like a quarterback competition on a team you've been on, have you?
No, no, not really. No, they got Brett retired, and they said, boom, Aaron's in here. And then Brett tried to come back, and they said, sorry, bud, Aaron's our guy. So
sorry, bud, Aaron's our dude. Let me just even ask you this. What was that last year like with Aaron, like kind of emerging, and people could see, what was that, 2007, 8, maybe 2007, 8 in there?
Well, he stepped in 2008. That was when he became a starter full time.
Okay, so what was that 2007 camp like? I mean, as you could kind of see some flashes from Aaron, you know, and the defense, the offense, everybody can see this guy that's young. And so, not that you had divided loyalty, Brett was a Hall of Famer, But as you kind of watch that and kind of feel that out, what was that like, being a part of that?
We knew right away. So Aaron was drafted 1 year before me. I got there, and so Aaron's playing scout team quarterback against us on defense, and I knew right away, and everyone did. Like it was like almost like an unspoken thing where Winston Moss, our linebacker coach, every once in a while in practice, he wouldn't even say anything, and he would just run the play back and forth a million times, showing like a throw, Aaron threading one up the seam or whatever, perfect coverage on a dude, just threading these crazy throws in that not many people can make. And we were always thinking in our mind, and we even said, like, hey, whenever Brett decides to hang it up, I think we're in good hands. Like we got a dude back here because he would torch us. And I think we were lucky to where Brett was still playing at a high level. I think Brett's last year we got beat in the NFC Championship game, and then Brett took off. But we kind of knew, hey, we're going to be great. This guy coming up is awesome, and he stepped in there and was Aaron Rodgers from day one.
Hey, I want to, Bob, how much time do we have left with
Aaron? Like another 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, real fast. Hey, AJ, for all the people, because we had a couple people late to the deal, and Emily was like, hey, this is what you missed, and it was just driving and animals. But real quick, do you still drive with 2 feet? That's a real question.
Yeah, of course. What do you mean?
I love that. Hey,
he tried to say he drove a stick with 2 feet, so I don't know if that's real, but I mean,
hey, we were talking about classes online. They made a whole freaking movie called Gran Turismo. Dude played a video game and went out there and won some stuff. Anyways, hey, polls came out. Buckeyes won number 2 in the coaches, number 3 in the AP. You're looking at the rankings. It's different than in the league, right? And that's kind of where these games, these big matchups, like the league tries to put some big matchups up there to start the season, get it frothy and juicy, but they really don't necessarily matter. They matter, but they don't because it's a 17-game season. So these polls, these rankings, when you played, now that you're analyzing it all the time, how much stock do you put into that? And also, Penn State being 2, jumping over Ohio State in the AP poll. Thoughts on Penn State?
Yeah, I mean, preseason polls to me are crazy. Like I know when I was playing, I never really thought of it. I never really understood. I mean, I get why they do it, but I think the best thing it can do is if you're number one, if you're not number one and you think you're number one, it puts a great chip on your shoulder and motivates the team. Like I think it honestly does. And then if for some reason you're number one, then what? Like a coach probably doesn't want to be preseason number one because his players will feel that and hear that, and people will pump them up and tell them how great they are. I know coaches love when others can keep you motivated, I guess. But I've always said, all right, cool. Where are we when the season ends? When the polls come out, when they actually are ranking the teams off of what they have done, where are we then? That's what I've always thought. But I understand why the polls are out there. And, Penn State, they're making a run to be great. We know that. And that's what's cool now. That's what's exciting too. We don't really know. There's so many teams that we don't really know. There's going to be new quarterbacks, new guys stepping in at all kinds of positions all over the country. So preseason polls, I think, are very tough to actually be accurate right now.
All right, final question here before we get you out. Age, are you planning? Do your kids are we going to the Texas game? Do they want to go? Or are they trying to lobby you to go? I know you got a lot of stuff in sports and activities, but I mean,
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure that out actually right now, Bob. We've been talking about that because we definitely have to put some stuff together to bring all of us and bring 6 of us. But I hope so. I definitely hope so.
So do they lobby? Do they try to say Dad, I want to go to the game now?
Yeah, they definitely do. They all ask, and I can't take 1 or 2 of them because they're like, well, no, I'm going to fight you if you take my brother. They're going to fight everybody. They all want to.
Are you worried that one of them might kill one of the other ones in their sleep?
And yeah, I mean, I think everyone is, you never know what someone's capable of doing, but hopefully we're all right. A lot of times my boys actually stay in the same room together still when they're getting along and when they're not fighting too much.
Well, that's good. Maybe one of them will be, the undercover shanker and over there, Dad. I told you we only needed 4 tickets, not 6. Look, now
it's much cheaper now, Dad.
It's much cheaper. We don't need all the tickets. Well, I appreciate it, sir. Hey, enjoy it with Pat. Hopefully we'll see you at the game. Should be a fun one. I think Schlegel said he's going to go. Is that correct?
I'm going. Yeah. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
You can go
Competitive
there.
excellence in that household. Make them earn those tickets.
You're right.
AJ.
We will. Absolutely. We will. Every minute. We are.
That's what it's all about, man. We'll give our best to everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. See you guys.
That was our guy, Mr. Aaron James Hawk, doing a great job for us right there. I want to tell you about This Export mouth guards. Attention parents, athletes, protect what matters most with Export mouth guards, trusted by professional athletes, designed by NHL team dentists. Export mouth guards are scientifically tested to help absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. They feature 3 layers of advanced protection, including a patented use of carbon fiber, custom smile. With the 3D printed technology means more protection, better performance, max comfort, and clear communication so you can focus on your game, not on your gear. Don't take chances with your safety. Visit exportguards.com/Bobby today. Save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
All right, welcome back into the Bobby Carpenter Show on Tuesday, August 26th. It's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Say maybe you want, I don't know, Joe Burrow. Maybe you get a little crazy, go with Herbert out west. Maybe you want to crown your champion in August, get a little future on the winner of the whoever brings home the title. Yeah, would you say go for the Browns? I don't know about that. I mean, Bengals might have a shot. Some other opportunities there in the AFC North. Maybe you go across to the NFC, find a winner there. Maybe a Green Bay. That could be a nice little one for you with some good value. But mark your calendars. This is your day for hunches, your hot takes, your calls, your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures now, because Future Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit FanDuel.com/RG. How we doing, Schlags?
I'm just typing in the chat. I'm getting juicy. No, we got some great stuff in there. Like somebody brought up, I think it was Emily, like, silence the cadence, which is what Ryan Day talked about. And I just immediately thought of Silence of the Lambs, because she wanted to make a T-shirt. I was like, I love that idea, but make it with a Silence of the Lambs theme. Maybe it's Ryan Day with like the mask on. Bob, could you imagine that? Maybe it's some of his really black beard that he does not just for men, right? Like kind of poking out through there. And it's like
got a little bit of grays coming through in there now.
Yeah, that's what happens when you coach at Ohio State. But yeah, just like a little bit of that, like maybe Silence the Tenderloins. And it's just a picture of Ryan Day, and maybe there's like, some meat on his plate with some fava beans or something. What was that drink he had? Some Chianti or
Chianti?
Yeah, I don't know. Chiantis with an S, plural. So you had 2, 1 for each of you. Yeah. What do you got?
Well, let's throw that up there on the shoe being loud. Since Ryan did talk about that, Pat, if we could.
Why do you think he would talk about it, Bob? Why do you think he would make an emphasis to talk about this?
Well,
2 weeks out.
There's been so much nonsense, Schlags, talked about with the noon game and the
Big noon, old nooners
trying to change it. And so everybody knows that they were trying to change this. They're trying to push it to Sunday night with Fox. Texas wouldn't do it. I think Fox was on board. And so Ryan, eventually you come to terms with the fact the game isn't going to be move. It's going to be at noon. It's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be hot. But it's going to be in the shoe. Would you like it at night? Sure. But you know what? You can't complain about it anymore. And he came out and was talking this week, said we got to put him on the silent cadence. It's got to be the loudest it's ever been.
Yeah.
As far as him with on the Texas game. And I get that. I understand it. Like that is the home field advantage, Schlags. That's why you work. That's why you grind to ultimately be able to do that, so you can have that home field advantage. And that's the call to the fans. I think this is a new Ryan too, like a guy who's won a national championship, feels confident, like, hey, we need our fans behind us. We got to go. We need it to be the loudest it's ever been. They got to be able to go there and rock.
Yep. And I think, guess what? It's good, right? Like, hey, rise up, man. I mean, they got one opportunity. And again, they're the number one preseason AP poll, number one coaches poll, also underdog at Ohio Stadium first week of the season. I think that's the first time ever, but make them feel that way. And that's why I like this matchup, guys. Like you have two uncertainties. You have two brand new starting quarterbacks. You have a lot of returning players on both sides. You got going to have two really well-coached teams that come in here that have an opportunity to win a national championship. Let's see where you are. And it really, same thing that went back to Texas, but we played him in the second game at night, which was unbelievable. And that's why, honestly, you and I, Bob, we probably, besides the fans, the ones that were there 20 years ago, remember how chaotic that
Remember the Alamo?
It was so freaking fun. But it was the first good-on-good early season matchup. And there was 100,000 people inside of it. There was 200,000 people outside of it. It was like the thing. And that's what we all want in these type of situations.
What does that do, Schleiks? What does that do, like, when you get into a game like that? I mean, as far as young players, the nerves, like offensive communication, it's hopefully what it is. Like, it's quiet on offense. But on defense, there's some hurdles you've got to cross to be able to get that done.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the intentionality of everything that you do. It also helps that you have Grambling and OU. Like, this is the matchup, and everything that we're putting in for this obviously can be used in those two games. So it's not like you're thinking of the next one. It's like not a back-to-back Texas and then an Illinois. It's a Texas and Grambling and OU. So it's like all the things that we're going to need in this environment, of which we played in a lot of them. And they got a lot of game experience last year in the playoffs, big-time moments. That's what we got to be prepared for. Texas has to be prepared for it, but they're also on the road. So competitive advantage, Ohio State in that matter. And so everything you do as a coach has to be really, really intentional. The communication, especially on defense, has to be paramount if you want them to be that loud. You know, if you want them to go on a silent count, guess what? It's also going to impact the way you communicate on defense. So you got.
Let's talk about that. I mean, so how does that defensive communication, front to back, side to side, work? Because you want the noise. The noise is great. It's tough for the offense, but in defensive situations, when you have combos, when you're trying to check line stunts, when you're trying to change a coverage, like that can be just as difficult.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but Bob, you when we were playing nickel, you went to a 5 technique. So now, again, headsets, it's a little bit different because we're not giving the calls from the defense. And in this situation, you might also have to be able to give a call. And they go work on calls right now. Like there's like old school, like, you know, it was field 8. They point to the field, and there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that was kind of was like field 8. All right, awesome. Everybody knew what it was. Now there's certain checks on that. Hey, are you 3-by-1? And again, what I tell you guys about the offense sets the front, they reload the front, and they motion to make you communicate 3 times. Now it's really loud, and you got tags in the defense. Hey, if they're 2-by-2, we do this. If it's 3-by-1, we do this. Hey, if it's alert 4 and force crosser because they got quads with a running back toward the trip side, alerting the will linebacker that he has 4 first crosser. You're talking about all those different things, but you got a motion. Or if you have stunts in front and you're like, hey, I'm going through this gap, and it's not just a called one. There might be a book or a read, Bob, if we're in man coverage and a running back has the back, but he's so far set outside. If he flares, I give a book call, right? Or, you know, whatever you guys want to call it. What was the other one? It was book and it was read, right? Or was it different? Or maybe read and book were the same. I digress. But maybe if he flares, the DN takes him and the mic dead dogs. We call it dead dog, and meaning he fills, right? So now I got to communicate to that. But here's the deal. Before the even play starts, like that's why you got to get the call in, because then you have those communications. You also might have to bump them down physically. Book, boom. Tap his hip. He knows, right? It looks like I'm kind of showing, but I'm also communicating. That's what you got to do. And they're practicing this. They've been practicing it in camp because why? The most important game of the season right now is the first one. So they're communicating and rolling all these in and being very intentional.
Absolutely, Schleiks. And that's part of it. I mean, they need, like you said, the intentionality of it, understanding what you need.
Loudest one you played in, Bob, where we communicated really well. It can be Ohio State. It can be the pros.
Well, and even the Texas game. Well, you know what? We'll get into that here in a minute because, you know, the noise is great, but you got to make sure everybody's on the same page, because if not, it can cost you. And I'll talk about how it costs us in that Texas game. You know, at the end, the communication is paramount to make sure everybody's doing the same thing. Before we get to that, I want to tell you about our friends over at Backer. Premium Buckeye apparel for premium Buckeye fans. The hats, the jackets, the wind gear, the rain gear, the cold gear, all of it with all the features that you're looking for. So go to bckr.com to check them out. They've got tons of Ohio State stuff there. They've also got some other teams. Don't have to check those out. They got hats as well. And they've got all the features that you're looking for, all of the niceties that looks great. And even more importantly, it feels better. So go check them out and use promo code all caps Bobby. Check out for free expedited shipping. Again, that's backer bckr.com. Go check out our friends at Backer. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next. So, folks, everybody talks about how it's great to have noise, and it is. It disrupts more of the offense than the defense because the defense doesn't have a play clock. You know, the ball is going to be snapped when it's snapped. It keeps the offense simple so they can't adjust. They may think they know what you're in, but they can't just adjust out of it. Now, here's the flip side to it. The end strikes. Do you remember how that game really ended, I guess, for us? I mean,
Was it the one where Nate helped out on me on the Tampa? They threw him in the back of the corner because Fick told him to because they helped the unathletic middle linebacker. Is that what you're alluding to as you smirk over there?
I didn't know all of that. I just knew this. I think we were in field.
I didn't know that either until 18 years later.
That Nate
I was like, why? I was like, I didn't need any. I knew my capability. If there's one thing I know what I'm capable of. And it's like, that dude's faster than me. And so I'm going to make sure I stay on top. All right.
But it was a situation where they thought it was like cloud coverage on the backside versus sky. Cloud means corners in the flat. Sky means safety's down or safety's going to be leaning. And so they thought they had it clouded. Our corner thought he had help over the top. I think it was Ashton. Lima Swede got inside. Nate Sally, our safety, didn't get over the top because he was helping Schlegs. And so there was a miscommunication of sorts because I don't think Ashton was expecting help from Nate. And so he was late getting over there because he was squatting and trying to take away some outs and different things. And that's how that can happen, Schlegs. And I didn't realize that they were trying to help you, which makes a lot of sense and protect you. But I remember like looking back and seeing the ball go over the head, and then Nate was probably leaning to your guy instead of, helping over the top. And that's just part of it. And that's how it goes. But it would have been okay if the corner, I think, if they all would have been on the exactly the same page with that. And that's where it's hard, is you can see guys yelling sometimes, and that's why you have to have all of your little hand signals come into play, Schlegs, and everything that you're doing.
Nail. Remember that out of 8? I remember that.
Yeah, hammer the nail, Schlegs. But like especially in man, because they'll get in bunches and they'll go from 2-on-2. Sometimes they bring in a third guy, so then it's 3-on-3, and how they play them out. And then maybe the third guy might motion, and then you're back to 2, and the guys have to figure that out. They've got to know who's still in the groups and who's making those corrections, and that is a critical element. And so when the noise is going on, yeah, it disrupts the offense, and that's awesome. And that's something that you want to see happen. But it also makes it incredibly difficult sometimes for the defense, so they've got to be locked in.
Yep. And I mean, again, here's the other thing too. Now that you have the headsets, it completely – what are you going to do?
Like not everybody has a headset, just the middle.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Guys. So it's like, it goes back. Like you still – even in the NFL, like now the mic has it. So the guys still have to be in close proximity. Back in the day when they were just doing signals and they looked over to the sideline, nobody had to gather. Now you got that. You're still going to have to look. What is this stunt that they're running up front? That you have to know that if you're a linebacker, because one back, one gap. Well, where are my gaps? If what stunt they're running, up front, like I got to know that. So there's a lot of moving parts besides, my run fits, but also my pass responsibilities as a linebacker. It just is what it is. But that's also why you love the game. And as Bob, as you know, and you work with younger people, whether it's Pop Warner, junior high, high school, college, pros, like it's still getting in the weeds of the bigger picture of the why we do what we do, and it allows you to play faster. And so in this game, the team that can handle the environment the best is going to have success. And again, let's go back to that. What are the factors that can impact somebody, whether young or old, as they go into this, right? It was funny. We had this thing at UA where they made coaches do it. And it was kind of like, all right, their own personal family environment, how they're raised, et cetera, the skill set of the athlete, and then also the environment. Obviously, we want the environment to be crazy. I think people are in here talking about you should lose your voice and be absolutely gassed and charge it to winning. That's what Ryan Day said, right? Silence the tenderloins. All right, so that's one. But two, to me, it always goes back to the skill set, the preparation, because it stops when the foot hits the ball. How prepared are these? The most prepared team that can actually control the ball and not turn it over is going to be the team that wins this game.
Absolutely, Schleiks. That's going to be a big deal. It's always the most prepared team that is going to
Talent's
be
equal. Talent's equated.
Talent's equated in this game. I mean, Texas is good. Ohio State's good. They've all got a lot of really good players. All right, that's it for that. We got our headlines, Schleiks, coming up next. We'll break down some of the headlines and some of the different stuff that is out there. Some of the big things this week. Here coming up next on the Bobby Carpenter Show.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
You're looking to scale your marketing? Let Lake Spur Marketing Team be your trusted marketing agency. They have a broad range of experience regardless of your industry. Lake Spur Marketing prides themselves on building partnerships. They're confident they'll deliver the results, but more importantly, it's about the relationship they're going to have with you and their clients. Make Lake Spur Marketing your marketing solution. The proof is in their partners. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
Yeah.
All right, Schleiks, we've got some headlines.
Yeah.
And some other stuff that's out there, some important things. I don't know if I want to get to this yet or not.
What do you want to get to, Bob? What are you thinking?
I was thinking about.
You trying to get frothy over there?
I was thinking about, because it kind of opens up a bigger discussion with Lincoln Keenholz and kind of
about the Iron Buckeye. Do it.
Well,
we got the whole Doomajig.
We don't have the whole Doomajig, dude. We
got the whole segment.
We do have a whole segment. All right, let's.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's put that up there. So Lincoln Keenholz, has discovered Schleiks, and they haven't been doing the Iron Buckeye for all that long. For the last, since I think Ryan got here, they started calling it the Iron Buckeye. And so, it's been 7-8 years that they've had this in the offseason. And since then, Lincoln Schleiks has been the only quarterback that has ever won the Iron Buckeye. It's an interesting thing. It's an interesting stat. My man Bo Bishop has what he calls thing or not a thing. I would say it is a thing.
It is a thing.
He's got to be able to play on the field, but I think that you're given a lot of grace and opportunity when your teammates respect you that much and when the coaches know what you're capable of.
Yeah, it's competitive excellence. And again, this goes back to what? All the little things. I'm just telling you, the Iron Buckeye.
Things, like Blink-182.
What did you say?
All the small things.
All the small things, all the little things. Do you show up every single time, on time? Are you prepared? Like even how you come into the room is evaluated. How do you do in your 1v1 competitions, regardless of position? He'll be going against safeties. Guarantee you went against Malik. We already know he went against JJ, right? Like he could have gone against Peyton Pierce for all I know, right? Now, they try to make it as similar as possible, but he doesn't weigh as much as JJ. JJ is like a tight end, So, but again, it's all the little things, showing up, being about it. Greatness is the accumulation of great days. Doesn't mean he's just going to be given the quarterback spot because you won the weight room. We've all known a lot of people that were great in the weight room and that were not on the field, Bob. That's not what this is. Lincoln has a lot of ability. And so, again, what are the coaches looking for? And take that out. Just because Sayin didn't get it doesn't mean he's not worthy of being the starting quarterback. That is not what we're saying. What we are saying is his teammates respect him. right? His coaches, because this is graded on by the coaches and his peers. Okay, so they all respect his work and what he's about. So he's earned the opportunity to be the starting quarterback, but now he has to take it. And again, what is he looking for? What is Ryan Day looking for? What is the offense looking for? The dudes that keep building upon the previous day and being able to autocorrect and adjust in practice and in games. And also, lastly, take care of the football.
Always take care of the football. But the Iron Buckeye is big. We've got some questions coming through, Schleigs.
Okay, good. I like questions.
Well, we always get to those in our tailgate talk, and I think we got about 5 to 6 minutes. We'll take a quick break, and then I want to come back, and we're going to talk about that Iron Buckeye, and you're going to answer some of the questions of what it all entails and what it means here coming up next on the Bobby Carpenter Show. All right, now into our tailgate where we answer tailgate talk. We answer your questions, brought to you by friends at Real Truck and Schleigs. There's a couple here that are pretty good, and Tyler
Hubbard. I saw him in concert.
No, it's not Tyler Hubbard. 5'9", brown eyes in a sundress.
Yeah.
Tyler Caresti said, "Oh gosh, that's different. That's another one that he put in there. Where was it? It said, can you?" Oh, it's above him. It's Wig Out 24/7. Can you explain what all is involved, Schleigs, with getting the Iron Buckeye? How many get it?
Sometimes it's 3. I guess they had 6. A lot of dudes are bought. Honestly, the fact that they had 6 kind of blew me away because normally you have 1 for skill, 1 for big skill, and 1 for power. They had 6 this time. That's 2 skill, 2 big skill, 2 power, I believe, is how it broke down. I'll have to go back and check. But how do you get it? There's competitive excellence in the weight room. There's measurements of like your bicep, the growth. What do your DEXA scans look like?
Are you talking about
bicep? I'm talking about bicep girth and neck girth and competitions. It's like you versus another dude. Hey, you weigh 200, you weigh 250. All right, you got to put on 50 pounds to make it the same. You know what I mean? Oh, the 200-pounder has to put on 50 pounds to make it the same. So we're competing in pull-ups, right? Like all those things. Mat drills, summer runs, how much faster are you getting? All of those things go into it. Did you meet with the dietitian? Hey, if you had +2 because you have asymmetries in your hamstring or landing mechanics, load break launch, whatever the case may be, are you doing those things? Or did you miss class? Like all these things are taken into account. Every unit leader votes on the guys that are on their unit. This year they broke them up into teams, so it wasn't necessarily unit by unit. It was skill with skill, right? So they vote on, are you a plus, are you a 0, or are you a minus every single day? And then those unit leaders have to be accounted for as to what they say. And all of that information is compiled. It's objective and subjective. That goes to Mickey Marotti. There he goes. That's how you do it. Can you get one? The answer is no. You have to be somewhere between the age of 18 and 23.
Why?
And you have to earn it.
It's limitless, dude. I think you've got some eligibility left. They said red shirts don't count. You get 1 more year. What else was interesting in here? Gosh, where was it said? Eddie said this. Ryan also talked about how being an Iron Buckeye will get you on the field.
Yeah. Gets you noticed. It's so funny, too. It gets you on the field of meaning you have an opportunity to get on the field. Like, I think that so many times, like, oh, he said he's going to get you on the field of what? You still got to go earn it. You could be phenomenal. You could be the fastest dude in the world, but soft as hell when you get hit or not know your plays. You ain't going to be on the field. It gives you the opportunity that you've earned those reps. And you might get a few extra reps than somebody else that didn't handle their business. But it still doesn't dictate that you're going to be the one that's on the field. You have to earn everything. It might give you a slight edge because you might get more reps to start because you've earned them. But if somebody goes in there and they're a better tight end than you and you're an Iron Buckeye tight end, I don't care. That dude's playing because those dudes, that coaching staff, Buckeye Nation, winning a Big Ten and national championship and beating the team up north are the only things that matter, not what you got on Iron Buckeye. It helps, and you want as much of those people. We talk about the 10-80-10 rule. You guys know that rule? How many of that 80 can we get into the top 10? We won the championship in 2014. There was probably 32 to 35 dudes in the top 10. You're like, well, shit, that's 35%. No. It's the top 10 elite of the elite. I want as many of those people up there. And I want to get that bottom 80 into the top 80. That's how you have great teams. And that's what this is. Doesn't mean you play. A lot of walk-ons on there that could be Iron Buckeyes are in the top 10. They ain't playing. They might play on special teams. They ain't starting because the best 11 have to play. That's how it goes.
Buckeyes. Another great question there that we're going to, I'll make sure we get to in tomorrow's show. We're up against it now, Schlegs. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with Schlegs' parting thoughts. All right, Schlegs. Tomorrow, you're going to be heading off to take Hunter to his Findlay, Ohio destination for school.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what, we'll save that. Give me your parting thoughts.
Well, it goes into that because AJ mentioned it, right? And you mentioned it, school's starting. And I was just going to say this, make sure you live in the moment of all of those things, whether your kids are going to school, whether they're graduating, whatever those moments are. We're adults, right? Hell, even date night, because I'm going to go on a date night on Friday. But be in that moment.
I'd like to be involved. Can I go?
Morgan Wallen's up in Cleveland, Bob.
Perfect. I loved it. We stay the night?
I got a scrimmage the next morning. I got a kid's scrimmage. We got to go, man. Anyways, hey, live in the moment.
All right, Buckeyes, we appreciate it.
That's why it's called the present. Oogway.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow about the quarterback battle. There's a great question that was in the chat. We'll dive into that as well. See what's going to be happening here is we're getting into a game week. 2 weeks out, they want to be preparing, and so they need to get that quarterback situation figured out. I know Ryan is doing his very best to do that. Buckeyes, we'll talk to you tomorrow here on the Bobby Carpenter Show.